Hello everybody, and once again welcome to Synhonomics, the money machine. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the non-duality. We are hearing a lot of noise, or I think this has resurrected already. Everybody is now talking about the world is a computer simulation, it's a etc. etc. Recently Elon Musk actually talked about it, and now many of the guys have been talking about that, especially after the advent of the movie Matrix. And now there are multiple sequels of that as well. So how many of you have seen the Matrix and thought that this is an art of or a creative thinking of the director or the writer? And how many of you actually were able to track it, the source of this information or the concept? Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and that actually relates to the philosophy and then how these ideas are coming from there. And at the same time, I like to correlate that with what I have been propounding or talking about it, especially the creative visualization, meditation, and manifestation for whatever you want, whatever you desire. So how all these things are actually connected. So the point of the matter is that, hey guys, how many of you think that we are living in a world of computer simulations? What was actually portrayed in the movie Matrix? Please write that in the comment, and I like to actually hear from you. Also, if you think that many of you must be very knowledgeable about all these sources from where these concepts are being borrowed or copied. Copied may not be the right word, but hey, that's what it is, right? If you know about it, write that in the comment. That'll be great. Well, let's talk about this whole idea of this, the world is a computer simulation or the world is a dream, etc., etc. Guys, it actually dates back to 15,000 BC. Yes, you have heard that right. It's a 15,000 BC before Christ. There were 4 Vedas were written in India. And which were the 4 Vedas actually? Rig Ved, Sam Ved, Yajur Ved, and Atharva Ved. So these Vedas are actually very complex Sanskrit scriptures. And the students or the gurus in the olden days used to actually study those and decipher. And this is later on, there were 108 Upanishads were written. And these Upanishads were just the interpretation of these Vedas. Out of these 108 Upanishads, something like 18 are very popular and have been studied and commented a lot. And these Upanishads are actually called Vedantas, Ved-ant. These Ant means end. So these are the end part of the Vedas. Why I'm talking about all these things? Because all these concepts that you are hearing or watching in the movies, the Hollywood and the Bollywood movies, etc., are actually originating from this philosophy. Well, the question comes, hey, what is philosophy? Let me a little bit talk about that as well. Guys, in a simple layman's term, philosophy is the love of wisdom. You can also call that a quest for the comprehensive understanding of the world. Yes, you heard that right. Philosophy is nothing but the quest for the comprehensive understanding of the world. Have you ever thought that when you complete your master's degree, Master of Science, Master of Art, whatever, the next degree is PhD, the Doctor of Philosophy? Why? You must have, this thought must have come to your mind. Hey, I'm actually a scientist, I'm not a philosopher. Why I'm getting this degree of Doctor of Philosophy? I should be given Doctor of Physics, Doctor of Chemistry, and for that matter, Doctor of Economics, etc. But why all these degrees are PhD, Doctor of Philosophy? Guys, because in that PhD thesis or during that research, you are actually working on some fundamental research Again, that relates to the quest of comprehensive knowledge to understand the world in that subject matter. And that's the reason why the whole world actually gives that degree, PhD, the Doctor of Philosophy. Well, with that little definition of the philosophy, I don't want to digress there because we can have multiple videos on what is philosophy. And if some of you are interested in that, I would recommend you go through the Ayn Rand's book, The Philosophy. Who needs the philosophy? Ayn Rand was a great philosopher. Everybody knows about some of the good works she had. One is the Fountainhead, the Atlas, and all of them. But if you want to really understand a little bit more about the philosophy, you should be actually looking at that Who Needs Philosophy by Ayn Rand. Having said that, guys, these are not elementary books. For that, you should have some good knowledge about it. Well, get back to the point that I've been highlighting today. And that's I was starting with the Vedas and I came to the Vedanta. So what is Vedanta? Vedanta is all these 108 Upanishads, as well as the Brahma Sutra and the Gita, the holy book of Sanatan Hindu Dharma, Gita. So these three components actually comprehensively are termed as Vedanta or Vedanta. I'll repeat that for you. So Vedanta is actually Upanishads, Brahma Sutra and Gita, Bhagavad Gita. Well, why I'm talking about that? Because all these theories that you are watching and seeing and hearing have come from that. Because if you look at the philosophy, there are two parts of the philosophy, I'll call that, as I actually dated it back 15,000 BC, guys. So that's the oldest philosophy, and that is Indian philosophy. The Western philosophers actually predominantly focused on the materialistic aspect of that. Aristotle, Socrates, and all of them, they actually focused on more the material part of that, because Bible does not believe, Bible believes in the materialistic, in this life what's going to happen to you in this life. They don't believe in the rebirth and all those kind of things. Whereas the Indian philosophy, which I'm talking about, in fact believes in Atma, believes in Brahman, believes in rebirth and all those kind of things. And when we talk about it, as I told you, Upanishads are actually the interpretation of all these Vedas. And there has been multiple philosophers out there who propounded different theories about this world. And if you really look at that, there are two components of the world. One is duality, and that's how this whole theory came up. Duality, twice, everything is in duality, joys and sorrows. Similarly, when you expand that to the whole world, it's actually the whole world as well as something that's holding the world. And what is that? That's called Brahma, the God, the universal consciousness. For some of you who don't believe in God, just go with the universal consciousness. Guys, there is some universal consciousness which we always tap to. If you have been my regular viewer, you must have been, I've been talking about it throughout this creative visualization, meditation and all those series. Manifestation, even for the finance side, how to make more money by using all these neurofinance and all those kind of things. It all relates to the universal consciousness, guys. So one is the Brahman, the universal consciousness, Atma, whatever you call it. Soul. Soul is not the right translation of the Brahman or the Atma, but let's, for the sake of better understanding for many of you who are not into this topic, let's believe that. So one is the God, the universal consciousness, and the other one is the world where we live in. So from all this Indian philosophy, two streams actually emanated. One is called Dvaita, Dvait philosophy, duality. The world is dual, guys. For everything there's a day and night, joys and sorrows, rich and poor, whatever. You can see it in that way, but in a more philosophical level, it's actually the universal consciousness, God and the world. Even though the world is created, has been created by the God. But these philosophers who believe in duality, they actually think that they are two different things. The creator and the creation, the two different things. Whereas later on in the 8th century, something like 700 to 750 AD, Adi Shankaracharya is also called Shankar. He actually propounded the theory of Advait, non-duality or monoism, it's called in English. In Hindi it's called Advait, Advait philosophy, monoism, non-duality. He said that, hey, the God created this universe, the God created the world, how it can be different? At the end of the day, they are one. And they believe that there is one truth. Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya, means Brahman is the only truth, and this whole world is Mithya, means false, illusion. Guys, try to understand here. This is a very important concept, and whatever you are hearing all this today is all emanating from this particular theory or the philosophy. There is only one truth, and that's the universal consciousness, Brahman, Atma, soul, the creator, God, whatever you name it. And the creation, this world, all of us, we are illusion. Jagan Mithya, we are illusion. And that's the theory these guys have actually taken and portrayed into the Hollywood movies, in The Matrix and all its sequels. Once again, I'll repeat that Advaita philosophy actually propounds that the world is an illusion. All the actions and the emotions, including the sorrows, are just the false impressions, guys. Yes, you heard that right. All our emotions and everything are just the false impression. It's actually the projection of the thoughts. Fundamentally, the soul and the God are one. When the soul releases itself from this illusion, it merges back to the Brahma or the universal consciousness. Well, if it has gone a little bit deeper, let me a little bit simplify for you. When we say the world is an illusion, it's kind of a computer simulation, it's like a dream, or it's like a computer game, whatever you call that, it's a video game. The whole world is a video game. And that's what you saw that in the Matrix. Right? Let me explain that to you. When you dream, when you are in the dream, you are actually seeing the whole world. You are seeing yourself in the workplace, or or playing, or talking to your friends, or you are in the pub, you are drinking whatever, beer or wine or juice. So you are actually in the dream, you are actually seeing everything as real. You are seeing your friends, multiple friends sitting there and talking, chit-chatting with you in the dream. So what's happening right now? The two friends you are seeing in the dream are actually not existing. They are in the dream, guys. They are virtual. Try to understand. So when you dream, all the characters of that dream are virtual. They are not real. So John and David, two of your friends, are actually talking with you in the dream, but John and David are not real. Who are they? They are the projections of your thought. We won't get into the dream and how the dreams are created. The Freud has written in details all the theory of the dream, etc. But here the matter of to understand here is basically that all these dreams are nothing but the projection of your thoughts. As soon as you get up, all of them disappear. You are sitting in the pub having a good time and relaxing with all your friends. All the friends are talking, you are talking to them. Everything is happening just like real. As soon as you get up, all of them disappear. So who are they? They were illusion. They were the characters in the dream. As soon as the dream goes away, they have gone away. Similarly, guys, somebody is dreaming, and this whole world is his or her dream. Who is he or her? That's the universal consciousness, God. The whole world is nothing but a dream. Me and you and everybody is just a dream. Do we exist? The answer is probably not. Whatever we do, are we doing ourselves or somebody is actually making us do? Just like you saw that in the movie Matrix. Whatever is getting programmed, this guy is doing, right? So somebody is programming and we are actually working. And that's where everybody is talking about it right now, that the world is a computer simulation. Somebody has programmed it and we are working according to that. We are actually acting according to that program. That relates to the previous one that I talked about earlier, that according to the Hindu philosophy, Sanatan philosophy, a lot of things are actually pre-written in the womb of the mother. Ayu karm cha vittam cha vidya nidhanameva cha panchetanya prisrijyante garbhasthasya hi dehina. I'll translate that for you. Ayu, how long you will live, your longevity. Karm, what kind of work would you do? Vitta, how much money you would have. Vidya, how much studies you will do. Will you do just bachelor's or the master's or the PhD or whatever? Ayu karm cha vittam cha vidya nidhanameva cha. And fifth one is how will you die? Guys, I'll repeat that. Your longevity, your age, how long you live, what you will do, how much you learn and save, how much you will study, up to what level, and how you will die. All these things are predetermined when you were in the womb of your mom. Somebody has written the script already, guys. The programming has been done. And now with artificial intelligence and generative AI, that's kind of proving it right. So in the chat GPT, go to chat GPT, give some information, say XYZ and this and that. This is my educational qualification. This is my work experience, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets. Please write a resume for me. Please write a cover letter for me. I'm applying for a company called XYZ. For an example, just say whatever. I'm applying for Apple, I'm applying for Amazon. And with that information, ChatGPT will write it down for you guys. And that's how it's connected as well. Somebody out there is programming and you think you are doing it yourself. Because at the end of the day, we are just the characters of this computer simulation. Somebody is playing the video game and we are the characters. But can we influence that? Definitely. The example I gave you was the chat GPT. You cannot just say that, hey chat GPT, can you just write a resume for me? What? You cannot give a blank slate. You have to give some pointers, guys. You say, hey, my education qualification is whatever, a Bachelor of Technology, BTech in Engineering and MTech and this and that and PhD, whatever. And then I have worked, I have 20 years of work experience and these are the companies I have worked, these are the areas I have worked in. And now I'm going to apply for a company who does XYZ. And that's the role of the job. This information is good enough, guys. ChatGPT will create a resume for you, can write a cover letter on whatever you tell them. But there has to be some framework given to that, right? Similarly, when you are trying to program your life or your many things that you are visualizing or manifesting, you have to do something about it. You have to give some kind of framework, just like you did it for the cover letter with the chat GPT. You have to tell them, hey, I want to achieve that and how I'm going to achieve that, why I should be given, all those kind of things. And the universal consciousness who is writing the program for you will incorporate that. So it has to be genuine, just like you're giving the genuine information. It's a garbage in, garbage out. If you don't believe in any of these creative visualization and all those kind of things, guys, nothing will happen. I can think that I'll become the richest man in the world, but how? Why? I have no idea. And I'm not giving that information to the super consciousness, to the universal consciousness. How will it be programmed for me? So, well, you can see how they are all connected. One more thing I'd like to highlight here is very, very important, guys. This is an established fact that the visualizers, your mind, your brain, whatever your brain visualizes versus what's happening in reality, the brain is not able to distinguish. So if you're sitting in a calm place and you're visualizing that you have plenty of money, you have a big car, a big house, or whatever you want to visualize, you're very happy, you have no problems in terms of the health, you're very healthy. If you're a runner, you'll visualize that I'm running with this kind of speed. I'm doing a marathon, 42 kilometers in 3 hours, sub 3 or sub 2, whatever, depending on your capabilities. And if you have been visualizing that again and again and again, your brain thinks that it's for real. And guys, see the connection between these two. According to the Dvaita philosophy, the duality, there are two things. But according to the Advaita philosophy, where I've just actually explained that to you, the world is an illusion. We are all part of the dream. Think about it, guys. In your dream, have you ever dreamt? Have you ever dreamt in your dream? You might find this a nebulous question, but think about it. Why? Because you're already in a dream. How will you dream in a dream? Because to dream, you need to sleep. And when you're sleeping, you'll not see anything. So if you're dreaming that you're sleeping, that's only you can see. That you're sleeping in the dream and somebody comes and awakes you. But in the dream, you cannot have a dream. Exactly the same thing's happening here. If you are forcing something, you're projecting your thoughts for the creative visualization, your brain is considering that as a real. Because at the end of the day, we are all in a dream. And within the dream, you are forcing something, and your brain is thinking that this is not a visualization, this is not a dream, this is happening for real. And that is something getting manifested in all these creative visualization, meditation, and all those things. Well, I think we're getting much deeper into that. I'll actually create some more videos on that. This is a very interesting topic, guys, and after how many years? 17,000 years is getting once again popular. Similarly, when the Western philosophers who used to believe in the materialistic world, their philosophy was more into materialism. Whereas the Indian philosophers actually rejected that, because they said, hey, with the material, you cannot create emotions. If I give you a lot of material, for an example, the wood or the iron, or whatever, lead, gold, can you create emotions out of that? The answer is no. An answer was no. But hey, think about the artificial intelligence now. What are they? They are made up of chip, plastics, metal. They're all material. Computer is metal. Supercomputer is a metal. The chip, that's a metal. Or material rather, because it has multiple metal, right? Plastics and metal and a lot of other things, aluminium, whatever you call it. They're all material. And you are creating intelligence out of that? What is it? Probably the materialistic view of the philosophy was true as well. Well, I'll just leave you with that, but before I go, let me a little bit paraphrase that. Today we covered what are the source of all these movies like Matrix and all. Everybody's talking about the world is a computer simulation, and actually quoted, you can go and do a YouTube search, you can actually see that. Elon Musk is talking about it. He says the world is a computer simulation, which was done in 8th century in India by Adi Shankara within the theory of monoism, Advait or non-dualism. He says Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman is the only truth. The universal consciousness, God, is the only truth, and this whole world is an illusion. And then I actually correlated that with how we are all part of a dream or part of a computer simulation or part of a computer game, video game, whatever you call that. And then I correlated that with you, that how you can actually use this fact, whether it's a fact or fiction, we don't know, but use this knowledge to project your thoughts, because we are at the end of the day already a projection of somebody's thought. We are in a dream. And if you are projecting your thoughts to achieve something, to manifest something, that will happen, because you cannot dream in your dream. The brain, the subconscious mind thinks that whatever you are projecting, visualizing with the right logic will happen. It actually considers that as something real. I gave the example of the ChatGPT. You give some information, some piece of information, and it will club together and give you a wonderful story. Be it your resume, be it your cover letter, be it a poetry, or be it whatever, man. It can be a whole book. It can be a story. So similarly, if you are actually projecting yourself, giving those ingredients to the universal consciousness, number one, what do you want to achieve, why you should be given that, and how are you going to get it? What are you trying to do that? How many people are going to be benefited out of that? If you give all this information, the universal consciousness is going to program it for you. And you will actually be seeing that happening, coming to fruition, just like what was shown in Matrix. With that, I leave it on you. Please give your comments in the comment section. How did you find that? Would you like me to further elaborate into that, in the Advaita philosophy and all those metrics and everything that's happening right now? Well, Synonomics is out there, not only to help you from the financial awareness, but also to give you some life lessons so that you can have a wonderful life. With that, if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll come back with another interesting video for you very soon. Till then, it's a goodbye from your life coach, Pankaj Sinha. Bye-bye.